Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this morning's market review. My name is Akondiola Komi Joshua, aka Josh FX. It's wonderful and interesting to be here again this week. Yeah, today is Friday, which is the end of this first Friday of the new month. I'm still wishing everybody a happy new month in arrears. Yes, today it's going to be a wonderful day. In fact, it promises to be a wonderful day, just like yesterday, the way the market moved and every other thing. Today, too, is not going to be uh different. But first thing first, let me use this opportunity to acknowledge each and every one of us that is on ground. Okay, so first on my list here that I'm able to see is Ade Okowori, then Akifenwa Peter. I can see Alebody Isedu. I can see Alfonso Sikediashi. Aniekan Osusen. Can see Bolaji Bola Fadiji. Okay. Yes. I can see Bukola Oni. I can see Christopher Agunbiade. I can see Felix Anyu. I can see Julius Kenny. I can see Namdi Mbata. I can see Patience Makangeline. I can see Shoyemi Adeleke. Okay, so yes, that's the number I can see for now. So for those joining just now, or you're just joining, good morning to you. Oh, good morning to you, to Mr. Felix Anyu. Thank you very much. All right, so that's that. Now, let's start with the day. Let's go into the real deal. Let's start with the real deal on ground. So first thing first, for those that are able to hear me from their own side, or if you're able to hear me from your own side, please loud and clear. Oh, Mr. Shoyemi Adeleke, thank you very much. In fact, before you even said good morning, you said loud and clear, sir. Good morning, sir. Oh, thank you very much. That's interesting. Good morning to you. I really appreciate that. Yes, I need two more or three more response. Okay, Bukola Oni is saying loud and clear. Thank you very much. One more, so I'll know. Oh, Akifenwa Peters is saying loud and clear. It shows that yes, you all can hear me loud and clear from your end. So if you're unable to hear me from your end, it's not from my own end. So I'll just advise you switch off your device, you on it, more or less like you're resetting the device. And once you on it, you should be able to connect and hear me clearly. But if you're unable to hear me clearly, I'll advise you change your location, change where you're located or where you're standing. That on its own could also affect the network. All right. Yes, I'm seeing somebody here. The name is, it's not showing your real name, it's showing a device name, Vivo Y19. Yeah, good morning to you. But please kindly change that name to your real name. Change the device name to your real name so we'll know how to address you better rather than addressing you as Vivo Y19. Okay. Yes, thank you. So I think it's time for us to move into the real deal. Let's start. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Come in. We'll start with fundamentals like we all know, after which we move straight down into the technical part to look at how the market, we feel the market is going to move, either it's going to go up or come down. All right, let's start and see what is happening. Let's go there. First thing first, we'll be looking at news as of this morning. I want to believe everybody is able to see my screen from their own end. Yes, I want to believe that. I believe everybody is able to see my screen from their end. Okay. Mm, yes. Come in. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So first thing first, we'll be looking at the news as of this morning to see what the news is saying. Let's know what news is saying as of this morning. Okay. All right. So as of this morning, we discovered that we're going to be having some important news coming out. Yes, some important news will be coming out this morning. And this news, yes. Hello. Good morning. Sorry for the glitch in network. It suddenly went off, but I'm back now fully. I sincerely apologize for that inconvenience, but I'm fully back on track. All right, so let's move on immediately. Sorry for that glitch in network. All right, so first thing, like I said today promises to be an interesting one because just like yesterday, the market moved well. So today again, we're expecting the market to also move in that line. All right, so first thing first, quickly without wasting time, we'll discover that yes, we are having some interesting news coming out today. We have the Canadian dollars news on Canadian dollars will be coming out by 2:30, which is the employment change and the unemployment rate. Then by 4 p.m., we are having the core PCE price index month to month and the prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment, also the prelim University of Michigan inflation expectation will also be released. These are interesting and strong news that will be coming out today. Yes. Uh, uh, so this it's one important news that we should also look out for. Yes, by today, and we know when to trade it exactly. You understand? We should know when to trade it exactly. Okay. So, Mr. Akifen, why you're asking what about non-farm payroll? Well, as it is now, there's no information here showing us non-farm payroll on the news. What we are having is what you can see currently. That's what we can see. That's it. We are not having any information on non-farm payroll. You understand? All the other ones are the minor news that you're seeing, which I just brought up for us to see. So for now, no non-farm payroll. But once the information will be released, we'll see it. If we move further, you will see it. Okay, so if you're unable to see it, maybe by next week we'll be having that news. In fact, let's look at it further to see possible we could see it next week. Okay, so what I'm saying next week is okay, we'll be having the FOMC next week. That's by Wednesday next week. Okay, so which other one? These are well, that's that for next week. This week, I think normally we do have the NFP come out first before any other news. Yes, NFP is always the first news we receive. Okay, so but if we're not receiving it yet, maybe they've changed the date of when they intend to release it. That's how it's always been. So for now, for today, this is the only volatile news we'll be receiving for now. The news on CADA's employment change and unemployment rate, then the core PCE price index and the prelim University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectation. Now for the CAD 230 USD 4 p.m. So let's watch out for this news. It promises to be an interesting one. So let's get ready for it around that particular time. Okay, so that's with that being said, we'll look at our currency strength meter to know the strength of our currencies. So starting with the manual one first, let's see. So first thing first, the strongest of all instruments as of this morning is AUD and JPY, followed by GBP. As you can see, the green arrow is reflecting on it, then NZD. Then we have the euros, Canadian dollars, uh, Switzerland franc, and the weakest of them all is USD. Like we all know, USD has actually been weak for a while now. The our currency has been weak seriously. Okay, so that's that for USD. Then the next, let's look at the next currency strength meter. One of the another information we need to understand is these currency strength meters. They tend to give us some accurate informations about our currencies too. So let's see. Okay, so on this particular one that refreshes itself automatically, we can see the strongest is NZD, followed by euros, AUD, GBP, Switzerland franc, Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen. Then USD is the weakest. Now, you know, the interesting part of it is on this particular currency strength meter, it shows you the strength of currencies based on time frame. This is on our 1 hour. On our 4 hours, we see that is JPY, followed by AUD, then NZD, GBP, Euros, CHF card, and USD is still the least. On daily time frame, we can see it the same way. It shows you differently. USD is even the weakest on weekly. Then on monthly, you can see the strength. AUD is the strongest, followed by Euro, NZD card, GBP, USD, CHF, JPY is the weakest here. But based on what we're seeing on 1 hour, USD is the weakest. And by the time we begin to look at the chart, we'll discover that the market too will be moving in line with what it is saying. Okay, so based on what we're even seeing on the currency strength meter, like the way euros is getting stronger as of this morning, and GB and USD is even weak. If we look at instrument like euro USD, it means it will be showing that it's going up too. You understand? Euro USD should be buying, GBP USD should be buying based on what we're seeing on the currency strength meter. You understand? But let's look at what it is on the chart before we conclude. Okay, so let's see. Going to the chart now. All right. We just so first thing first, we're looking at Euro USD, and as we saw it based on what we saw on the currency strength meter, and that's a reflection of what we're seeing now. Euro USD is going up as of this morning. Yesterday it came down. Yes, look at it. This is on my 1 hour time frame. It got to this particular high, and from that high, it respected that point, and it started dropping. This was the highest it got when it went. When it got there, this was the highest it got rejected from that point and came back down as low as this point. Yes, came as low as that point, and that point is on is it's like it's a zone. Based on what we are seeing here, is a zone. From this point, price went up, got to this high, came back and tested this point. You understand? Now this point is our zone. So looking at based on what we are seeing now, these are the 2 points we need to look at for. This is point one. If it's able to break above this point, then we should expect a push, a continuation in that bullish movement. But if it respects that point, price could also come back down. You understand? Price could come back down. So based on what we're seeing, we could say price could come back to this point and respect it. Or price could break below this point and continue a bearish move based on what we are seeing as of this morning. You understand? So between these 2 points, these are the two areas we need to focus on and see what price intends to do. Is it going to break above it, or is going to respect it? One of the two will happen. Either it breaks above or it respects this zone. One of these two is going to be the real deal, break above or respect. So that's that. But let's look at it on the daily time frame and see what price has been doing. So this is it. Based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, we discovered that price came down for a while, and since then price has pushed back, went up a little bit, came down a little again. Now price is pushing up. Is price going to go higher? Nobody really knows where price is going to go. But based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, it's more or less like it wants to push above this point, wants to go above this point, but never say never, because we can't be too sure of the market. Is price going to break above it? We are looking at it based on the trend from here. Price came down to this point, and around this point, based on what we saw, price broke that trend and is pushing. So price might want to get up and do a reversal back, but these points we need to look at them and see what price intends to do. You understand? So once we are able to see that, we can deduce or understand that, okay, maybe this is the direction the market wants to go to. Okay, so that's that on Euro USD. Looking at it even on weekly time frame, we can see what it did here. Based on all these moves that we're seeing, price has actually gone up on weekly time frame for a while now. It's coming down slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, so we don't know. Maybe it's trying to do a pullback. Even on the monthly, can we see on monthly it has pulled up, pushed up to for a while now. So let's just wait and see. Based on the zones that has been given to us here, price should break above it, then it could be a continuation of a bullish move. But if it respects this point, price might be coming back down. All right, let's look at AUD USD. AUD USD. Based on what we are seeing on 1 hour, we can see the trend. The trend is bullish. The trend is bullish. On 4 hours, bullish. On daily time frame too, this trend is bullish, and it's giving us this bullish trend such that you might feel like you might want to get to this particular top, but currently it's at a zone. It's currently at a zone here now, like we can all see around this point. There's a zone here. There's a zone around this point here where it is coming. So we can see, and that's just it. But price might be able to break above this part successfully. Price is able to break above this part, we should expect a continuation. We could expect a continuation in that move, that the movement of price can be bullish based on what we're seeing. This is on daily time frame anyway. Then the weekly time frame too, we're also seeing it. If you're looking at it, it's on the weekly time frame, we can see that it's already close to around that zone. You understand? Then On monthly time frame, we can look at it. Price has gone down for a while. Now there's a zone here on monthly time frame. If it's able to break above this point, it could be the movement of or the change of trend now to a new movement, the beginning of a new movement to the bullish side. Okay, so let's just watch and see what price wants to do. But we can see that price is respecting this zone here. Now price is having issues on this particular point. This is what we are seeing on our 1 hour time frame. So let's hold on and see if price is able to break above this particular session, then we could expect a bullish move on AUD USD. Okay. All right, with that being said, let's move to the next instrument, which is USD JPY. USD JPY. So based on the information we have already on the currency strength meter, we'll see that JPY has actually been okay. Not really JPY now, but USD has actually been really, really weak. It's been weak and weak and weak. Even though yesterday it tried pulling to show some little strength, but as of this morning now, we can see that price has gone down. Okay, looking at it from daily time frame, you discover that this price has gone up for a while and it got to this particular zone. This was the highest it got before it started dropping. You understand? Based on what we are seeing, it got to this particular high, and after that, it started dropping down. Okay, so it's been dropping, and currently, based on what we are seeing on daily time frame, it's close to a zone here too. Based on what we are saying, there's a zone around this point. Let me put it around here. Okay, so if price is able to break below this part now successfully, ordinary this point, this is on daily time frame, price able to break below this point, then we could expect price dropping. But if around this point, there could be a reversal. There could be a reversal around that point. That point is a strong zone, and this is it on our 1 hour time frame. You understand? So we could be expecting one of the two. Either it breaks below this point, or it respects this zone. One of the two will happen. It's either it breaks below this point or it uh tests this zone and it gets rejected here. So let's watch out and see. These are sensitive zone, our area of risk. Let's just look out for this zone and see what is going to be happening on this zone. One of the two things is going to happen: break or a reversal. So let's watch out and see what price is going to do there. Okay, let's move to GBP USD and see what price is also doing on GBP USD. Is it going to break it or is going to reverse back to the upside? Its zones. Let's look at the zones there. Okay, so this is a GBP USD as of this morning. On the daily time frame, we can see that price has reversed back to this particular zone here. Let's see. This is it here. This zone here, price has gone back to this point here. Yes, it gave almost like an inverted, it was giving us something inverted here, showing us the strength of the bears, because you can see that the shadow is even longer than this particular body here of candle 1 on the daily time frame. And with that, you might be expecting that, oh, if you are cutting a bearish candle as of this morning, today, if this particular candle closes bearish, then we can expect that the market will drop, the price will drop. But well, based on what we are seeing on candle zero now, it's still showing us bullish. You understand? It's giving us a bullish candle. And well, we still have some certain amount of hours. So it can still change bearish, but no one knows. But there's a zone here. So what we'll be expecting is price going to break above this zone or not? So this is our area here. So if price is able to break above this part, then we could expect price to what? To move up. But if that is not the case, then we need to hold on and see what price is going to do. Yes, okay. So let's look at it on the 4 hours. Yes, on 4 hours, you discover that that point is actually a zone there on 4 hours. That's it. We can see it. We can see the zone. Price got here, got rejected, came back down. Now got to this point to pushed back. Now it's still trying to push to that end. So if price is able to break above that point, yes, that's where we could have some stock issues there. So let's just wait and see what price wants to do. This is on our 1 hour time frame. Is price going to break above this point? And if price is able to break above it, then we could expect price to continue moving in the bullish direction. But if the reverse is the case, then you know what to do. Okay, let's look at the next instrument, which is USD card. USD card. Let's see what is happening on USD card. So based on what we're seeing on this trend, this is when our price is dropping. Okay, let's look at it from the daily time frame. Daily time frame to price is dropping. That's what is showing us. In fact, okay, so looking at what I'm seeing, based on what we are seeing, more or less like pattern, this is more or less almost like letter M. You understand? This is like more or less like letter M here, and it's coming down. But well, let's hope and see. One of the two will happen. Either it breaks below this particular zone here. This is a strong point for price. Either it breaks below this point here or it reverses back. Because we discovered that price got here, got rejected, came even down as low as this point, but got rejected. Now again, it's here. So price has been expecting this point. So one of the two will happen. Is it going to break below it or reverse back? Let's watch and see. Even on the 4 hours time frame, we can see it. On our 1 hour time frame, let's see. It's also a zone there. That point is a zone. So let's watch out and see what is going to happen here. Is it going to break below it or is going to respect that point? One of the two is going to happen. And like we've said, and I will always say, and I'm still saying it, is price when it comes to technicals, we need to be very, very patient. The patient dog is the fattest bone. We need to be very, very patient with price. Wait for price to fulfill our requirements first before we take that hit. And we can see price is struggling around this point very well because there's a zone here. Price is struggling around that point. Until price is able to break below that point or above that particular zone that is being seen beyond reasonable doubt, that is when we can now take the decision of, oh, I want to buy or I want to sell. Okay. All right. With that being said, we move to the next instrument, which is USD CHF. USD CHF. Now, this is USD CHF on our weekly time frame. In fact, it's been there. Okay, so based on what we're saying, let me put it this way. Okay, on the weekly time frame, this is it. Yes, yes. Let me give it some space. Let's see. This is on our weekly time frame. Let's look at it on the daily time frame based on what it's doing. We discovered that on the daily time frame, price has actually been between these points. Let me just put it here and make it at the opening and closing of those candles. Okay, so these are the points where price has actually stopped for a while. Okay, so let's see what price wants to do on the daily. You discover that price has respected these 2 points for a while. Now, some of the secrets I want us to understand about this chart is this. You see, uh, there are some certain patterns. This candles tells us when to buy or when to sell, depending on what we're seeing at these particular zones. And I normally inform our clients, I inform anybody, even those that come around into the physical class, I tell them that, look, the pattern of the candles at the zones determines what you're going to do, whether you're going to buy or sell. The structure matters. Okay, so one of the information I'm going to give to you is this. Look at this particular candle here. Even though it has a small wick above, it looks like a hammer, right? You discover that this point is actually the opening point and it came down to this point. But there was a strong push to the upside by who? The buyers of the market. Now, when most of the time when you see a candle like this having a long wick and the body is small, the wick is longer than the body, depending on the direction. Like this now is coming from down to the upside, and you can see this green candle like this. Most of the time, it's giving information that it's going to buy. It's going to buy. Now, if you look at this other one now, you will be like, okay, yes, but two sides. It has two sides. If you look at this wick, it's longer than the wick below. It's even longer than this body here, bigger than this body, showing you that the sellers actually rejected and pushed it down. And you can see the same is in the same vein. That's what you're seeing here. The buyers pushed it up and the body of the car, you understand, showing you that yes, the buyers really did something strong. And that's why price is moving. And all these things happen there at support and the resistance zones. So these two zones are really, really important. Once you're able to identify it, you understand what is happening and be able to make some certain or crucial decision in placing your trades. You make some crucial decisions in placing your trade. These are interesting things about the market. You understand? So yes. So if we're looking at it now, what do we expect? This, well, this is on daily. Let's now come to the 1 hour time frame. Let me zoom out a little so we'll see some things. You discover that price has gone up for a while. Now price is trying to come back down. There's a zone here, there's a minor zone there here that most of us might not be able to see. Yeah, we can call it minor, but yeah, also might not be minor. But yes, there's a zone around this point. And unless price is able to break that zone, I'm not seeing price going in that line. You understand? But yes, price can break this zone below. And if price is able to break it below, maybe now does a retest and it tests this point and is unable to break back. Yeah, there could be a continuation in that move. You understand? But one of the two will happen. Either it breaks below or it respects this zone and reverses back. You understand? There's a strong, this point where we're saying is a strong point. There's a zone there. And okay, so that's why I'm putting it on 15 minutes time frame so we can see this particular point here. In fact, interesting. There's a zone around this point here. So if price is able to break below it, we could have price moving down continuously even up to this point. Okay, coming. We could have price moving down even up to this point. Price could break down as low as coming down to this point. One of those things. But if it gets to this point, there's also a zone there that price might have issues with. You understand? So these are zones that we might see. Okay, so we can see that price is really, really pushing here now, but we are not really sure. Maybe it's going to close below this point. So let's wait and see. It could break below it and push further, even break below this second point here. These are strong zones that we need to look at very well. You understand? So if price is able to break below this point successfully, we could have price pushing down. But if it's not able, we could have a reversal back. As you can see, price is struggling here. All right, so that's that for USD CHF. Let's now look out for one other major instrument, then we move to commodities. Let's look at NZD USD. Let's look at NZD USD. NZD USD. With us, NZD USD. NZD USD. Okay. Stay with us. NZD USD. Okay. So looking at NZD USD, you discover that price has actually gone up for a while. This is on my 1 hour. You discover that price is around this point here now. In fact, has pushed even higher than where it got to formerly. Yes, it has pushed higher than where it got to formerly. This is the new high it has gotten to as of recent. And it's just between these 2 points. Yes, let me put it like this. Okay, so one of the two will happen. Either it respects this point, and if he's able to respect that point, then we should expect price to what to drop. But if that is not the case and is able to break above this point, then we could have a strong push to the upside. One of the two, if it respects that point, it could reverse back to this point down here. So let's watch out and see what is going to happen. But these are the two zones currently. This is our resistance point. This is our support point. We can see that price is being rejected around this point. Let's wait and see, is price going to break above it or gets rejected. That's that for that particular instrument. Okay, let's look at commodity now. Let's go to, yes, it's been a while. Let's look at oils. We'll look at oil. We'll look at silver. Looking at silver. Then we look at wheat. Yes, I've not checked wheat in a while, so let's look at wheat. Let's see what is happening on wheat. Okay, so first thing first, oils. Let's go to oils. All right, I'm on oil now, so we'll look at oil, then we'll see what is happening. Let's look at what is happening on oil. So based on the daily time frame, based on what we're seeing on daily time frame, let me zoom out a little so we'll see. You discover that price of oil has been dropping somewhat. In fact, let me pick it from this point. If I'm to look at it based on the trend, you see that from this particular point, price has been dropping slowly. Okay. But if I want to, I could also, okay, come in. I'm with us, please. Okay. Can we see that? This is another point. Okay. And I could also bring it this way again. I'm coming. Taking it from this point. All right. Come in. Okay. If we look at it, we discover that it's been giving us all these downward trend. And in this line too, it has respected this point for a while. So I should, based on what I'm saying, if I'm to look at it based on my own bias, I will expect it to respect the trend we are saying. Okay, so let me zoom out a little. So looking at it like this, this is from my 4 hours time frame. I'll expect that, okay, so price is going to be having some issues around this point. So if price is unable to break above that point, we could have a bearish move from this point. This is a particular trend. It's more or less like price is trying to just push to the upside a little. But yes, price could respect this point. If you look at even the trend on 1 hour, if you're looking at the trend on this our 1 hour time frame, you can see that, yeah, it might respect this point. It might not go above this particular section before it starts dropping again. So yes, we can be expecting price to be bearish on oil. But let's hold our hands and see. It's just an expectation. We are just envisaging. Nobody knows which direction it's going to pick. It could decide to just give us that bearish move, and the next minute you see it going up. But let's wait and see. These are the zones we are seeing. And if you want to look at it based on the other side of the trend, we can see that around this point, it has done something like this from this particular point here. Okay, coming based on what we're seeing here. Okay, so good. These are the trends, and you can see that price has respected this point. It almost did as if it was going to break it and respected and went back up. So these are strong points for this price here. Let's see. Let me zoom out a little based on what I'm seeing on 1 hour. You can see. Okay, so this is our cross section here. Price could even move around till it gets to this point. This point is a strong zone here. So yes, this zone here, if price is able to break above it or even below, then we'll know what price intends to do. Either it's going to go up or come down. But let's just wait and see. Based on this trend, it could break above or come back below, break below this point. One of the two is going to happen. But if we're looking at the trend, it's giving us that bearish trend. Well, that's that on oil. Let's look at silver and see what silver is doing. Silver. All right, so this is silver. I'm on silver now. And if you look at silver for a while now, silver on 1 hour time frame has just been moving between these 2 points. This is point one, and this is point two. Put it this way, yes. So it's either it breaks above or below. One of the two will happen. Either it breaks above this point, or it respects that point and reverses back to this point. And if it reverses back to this point, it's either it breaks below this point and drops down. One of the two will happen, but nobody knows which direction this instrument is going to go. So let's just hold our hands and watch. Let's see what price is going to do. Is it going to break above or it's going to reverse back down? One of the two is going to happen. Let's just take our time and see what price wants to do in that situation. This instrument is it's a commodity instrument, and like we all know, these are volatile instruments, so we need to take it one step at a time. Let's wait for price to make that decision. Let it give us that direction, then we follow. Okay, so that's that on silver. Let's look at wheat. Wheat. I'm on wheat now. I'm on wheat now. Whoa. Okay, so based on what we're seeing on wheat, let me zoom out. So the same way we can say it's been moving sideways, even though in between these 2 points, it has created a zone. It has created two zones for us. This is the resistance, this is the support zone. So this is more of the internal support and resistance points. This is on our 1 hour time frame. So and we can see that price has actually respected these points for in a while now. So it's one of the things that we're looking at. So it's either it breaks above this point or it respects that point and it comes back to break below this point. And currently on 1 hour, we can just see that price is moving straight between these 2 points. So I'm coming Okay, so this is it. From this point now to this point, we discover that price has just been moving sideways. So one of the two will happen. Either it breaks above successfully, okay, that it breaks above this point successfully, or it comes back to respect this point. One of the two will happen. So we can say it's ranging currently on our 1 hour time frame based on what we are saying here now. It's just ranging. Let it give us a definite direction before we pick any direction with it. But based on the zones we are seeing now, this is the main zones, the resistance and the support zone. So we have to wait and see if price is going to break out of those 2 points. Then we'll take that leap with it. Take the leap with it. So let's just watch out and see. But don't forget, we have important news coming out by 2:30 p.m. on Canadian dollars and 4 p.m. on the USD. These are instruments that could back reaction in any of these instruments. Okay. All right, let's go to indices. Yes, let's look at indices. Let's go to US. We'll look at US 30 first, then we move to US 100. Then, yeah, we'll also look at US 500 coming, after which we look at US 2000. That's the most volatile indices, US 2000. Okay, US 2000. Then we look at DE40. Okay, all right. US 30 it is. So based on what we're seeing now on US 30, let me zoom in. This is the real deal. As of this morning, it's ranging, it's moving sideways. So we have to hold on for it to give us a definite direction before we do anything. We have to hold on for it to give us a definite direction before we do anything on this particular instrument. But these are the main points here. These are the main zones here. Okay, so let me not make it too tight. Let me bring it down further. Let me give it some space for it to breathe. Okay, so if we're bringing it down, it came down to this point as well as this point. But yes, this is where the body is. So let's just give it some few space. Let me put it this way. We're expecting price could come as low at this particular point, and if it breaks below this point, we could have that bearish move. But if that is not the case, price could reverse back to the upside. Now this is the real deal at the upside. So all this one, I could just say this week and everything is just between these points. In fact, let me put it this way. So this is the real deal, where the body is. So it's either it breaks below this point or it breaks above this point. One of the two will happen. One of the two will happen. So we're expecting it to either break above or below. So let's just wait and see. And besides, price is moving sideways. So we can't place any trade here. We can't tell you to buy or can't tell you to sell. Nobody is sure what price wants to do. But definitely it's going to pick a direction. Okay. It's going to pick a direction after which we what? We follow. US 100, let's see. This is US 100. All right, so we discovered that US 100 as of this morning, currently, based on what we are seeing on the last three candles, that's the forming candle, that's candle 0, candle 1, and candle 2, we discovered that they are on the same line. That's more or less like the three candles now is showing that price wants to range. But as of this morning, it started and it went bullish, you understand? In fact, based on what we saw, this was the point the whole thing ended. But yeah, it broke at this point and pushed and it's been pushing. But we still have another one here. Where this shadow stop is still a zone, so we can't look away from that too. And we can see that price is still around that point. So that's one funny thing there. So one of the two will happen. Either it breaks above this upper one, or it respects this point and comes back to this point. Or based on what we are seeing, that price is moving sideways. Price could also continue moving sideways like that for a while. You understand? So that's just the way it is on US 100 as of this morning. That's what it's doing as of now. Let's look at US 500, also known as S&P 500. What is it doing? What's it doing? Let's see. Okay, so S&P 500 is giving us the same move on US 100, giving us the same vibes of US 100 based on what we are seeing. Yes, this is the same vibe it's giving to us on US 100. In fact, it has even gone above this particular one's shadow and it's creating a new zone here based on what we are seeing. It's creating a new zone here. So is it going to be breaking above it or below it? One of the two will happen. But let's just look out for this point. But based on what we're seeing on candle 0, 1, 2, 3, we can't really see it's going anywhere apart from when it broke it here and got up to this point. But based on these two candles, we can see that it's not giving us any direction for now. So we're meant to what? Wait. Let's wait and see. There's no harm in waiting. Yes. All right, US 2000. Okay, so this is what the chart is showing on US 2000. Let's see US 2000. So on US 2000, it's basically ranging based on what we're saying. It's just moving sideways. So we need to hold on for price to pick its direction. Is it going up or it's coming down? Let's wait and see what price wants to do. One of the two will happen. This is it. So if it breaks above this point, then yes. If it doesn't, then we know what it wants to do. So one of the two section is going to pick a direction at the end of the year. And once it picks a direction, we can follow that direction. Okay, so that's that for this particular instrument. So let's go to DE40. Let's go to DE40. Let's go to DE40. Let's see what price is doing on DE40. Once I'm done with that, yeah, I'll now look at some of the questions we've dropped. Okay, DE40. And based on what we are seeing on DE40, we can see that this on this 1 hour time frame, we can see that it's giving us that upward trend. Yes, it's giving us the upward trend. From this point, it's been going up. It has even gone higher than this particular point. But as of now, because price is at a new high based on what we are saying, our advice, we wait. Let's wait and see what price wants to do, because price could get rejected around this point and goes down. And like we can see on candle 1, we can also see on candle 0 that price is struggling around there. So this is the best thing to do. Wait and see what price wants to do. This is on my 4-hour time frame. We can also see it's been giving us that bullish move, bullish trend. On daily time frame has been pushing up, so there's every possibility price might want to push up. And on daily time frame, we can see that there's a zone around where price is currently. So I'll kindly advise we hold on the weekly. We can see what price is also doing, so let's just hold on and see what price wants to do. Even though on the weekly it's giving us an information that the buyers are actually trying to push this market up based on what we're seeing. Look at the long week below here, so you understand it's showing us that the buyers are really pushing their weight. So price might still go up. Or monthly time frame, can you see? It's been more or less like it's what is ranging. So around this point on the 1 hour, our advice we wait and see what price wants to do. Okay. All right. So I'll look at this. Let me look at what we're saying. Okay. All right. So Mr. Akifen, while you're asking what about non-farm payroll, is nothing happening to it. When the data is going to be released, we'll see it. I just feel one of the reasons why we might not be having that now of this early is because of the US government shut down and it took time for it to come back and all those things. So yes, we shouldn't be surprised that yes, it's affecting some certain news. And funny enough, you can just see that some certain news that doesn't even move the market on the normal day is now moving the market, and the ones that do move are not really moving the market again. Yes, these are some certain things that we can see happen based on that. Then okay. Oyeshina, you're saying we should look at Euro JPY. All right. Let's see what the market is saying on Euro JPY. Let's see what the market is saying on Euro JPY. Euro JPY. Okay. So based on what we're seeing on Euro JPY, let's look at the daily time frame. On daily time frame, it's it's more or less like this market is not giving us one definite move here on Euro JPY. This is on daily time frame. It's just between these 2 points here on daily time frame. Yes. It's between these 2 points. So we need to be very careful. So if this is on my daily time frame, that's what I'm showing you. So if he's able to break below this part, then we could have that continuation in a bearish move. But if he respects that point, yeah, price could reverse back to this point. So one of the two will happen. But if we are looking at the trend has been bullish. It's been bullish for a while. So let's just hold on and see what price wants to do. Is it going to get rejected here, or is it going to break above that point? So once we're able to see that, we can follow. And just like we always tell you, the trend should always be your friend. And if you're looking at what price is doing now on 1 hour, you discover that on a price is on a support, and based on what we're seeing on the candle zero, is showing you a bullish move. So that could also be a reversal telling you that price wants to go up. Yeah. So that's that on Euro JPY. Okay. Uh okay, you can say now that this market, okay, Chukwe Buka, you're saying now that this market, especially that of indices, are ranging, what do we do? How do we know when to take advantage of the market break above or below the mark zones? Yeah, it's by checking the market. You know, understand? You have to wait and check the market. You must be very, very patient with this market. That's just it. You must be very, very patient. Most of the time, I don't know. Let me say this. How many of us listen to news? You watch the network news and the likes. You discover that when it's time for business news, there are some set of people that they just show, they sit down on the system, looking at the system for hours. Those are the people at the Treasury Bill Department in most of these banks. You see them sitting down looking at the system. What they are doing is they are just waiting for that opportunity where the market will break a zone above or below, and they will take that leap or that move. That's just it. So we need to be very, very patient with it. Take that point and it's going to work. All right, so I'll be looking at AUD JPY. AUD JPY, I think that's going to be the last instrument I'll be looking at for today before I call it a day with us. AUD JPY. Yes, AUD JPY. All right, I'm on it now. AUD JPY. Let's look at AUD JPY. Okay, AUD JPY. All right, so on AUD JPY, we can see this is on 1 hour time frame. Look at what it's doing. This is the highest. Okay, so let me pick it from the week here. And I'll also pick it from this week down to this point here. So it's between these 2 points, but if we want to make it tight, you can just put it on. In fact, let me do it this way. Okay. All right. So these are the two main points, but we have some other zones around this point that has been created. Now it's meant for price to either break out of these 2 points here. This is one. This is 1 point here. Okay. And this is another point here. So it's just between these 2 points. And as we can see, price is trying to push back to the upside. So first thing first, we're going to wait for it to either break below this point, then it has this zone to contend with. And if it's able to break below it, then we could see price pushing back down. But if that is not the case, price could respect this point and continue moving up. So let's just work it out for all these zones that has been marked. One of the two will happen. Yeah, I'll have to call it a day today. Thank you very much. See you same time next week and have a lovely day trading. Bye for now.